the cube on which I will go ahead and start extruding inwards to get that stepped appearance. So I will just focus, only on this face right here that is facing us the most directly. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in these lines that I would normally use to kind of help me subdivide this particular surface right here. Now the reason why I draw these lines inward is it helps me to translate the proportion and the scale of the outside of this face inwards. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so we know that each one of these steps, according to our reference, just steps up by 1 unit. All right. Also, if we go back to our reference, we know that it steps inwards by one similar unit, and so we are already provided the height of that 1 unit at this point right here. This point at which our measuring point, or I'm sorry, our anchor point exists. So I'll go ahead and from that point draw back to my second vanishing point. And what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for the point at which it bisects this X that we've drawn. From that point, I can just go ahead and draw upwards. Same right here. Then I can close that off. All right. And as long as the corners of this new box remain on the X, it will be in direct proportion to the outer edges of this face. All right, and now all that we need to do is we need to just from these corners draw back to our opposite measuring point. So since I do not need this X anymore, I'll just go ahead and remove that. Now, to make this successful, you really do need to consider adopting the draw-through method. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. All right, so now that I've established this foremost ring, or this stepped edge on this particular face of the cube, what we need to do is we need to foreshorten the distance in which that recedes or steps inward. And to make that work, we need to be using our measuring points. So the first thing that I'm going to do is kind of use this corner right here as an auxiliary anchor point. Now granted, it's not this anchor point, or the point that's closest to us in space as far as this object goes,